everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, thanks.
Alex, I guess just talking to some of the players this week, they were just saying how they've grown from day one to where they are, and they felt like the coaching staff has grown too. How have you grown, do you think, in your role this year from day one to where you are now with 2 left?
Yeah, I think we talked about it early in the season. We're just looking for that improvement from week to week, game to game, for all of us, really. I think, as a play caller, you grow throughout the course of the season. You get to understand who your guys are and what they do well, and always trying to put those guys in a position to be successful. But going in, we said we just want to make improvements every week, and I think we're playing some good football. Again, I would love to see us play more consistently week in and week out, instead of going from a good game to a not so good game to a better game. Like, we just need to get the consistency going better. I'm excited about having 2 more opportunities at home to win in front of our crowd.
Alex, I wanted to ask you, when we talked to you last week, and we were asking about the quarterback run, you said, I want to get him through the 3 games. Mm-hmm. His health is the most important thing. Then 3 days later, a couple design runs, a couple quarterback sneaks. What sort of went into the shift that he did?
Yeah, I think they were very safe plays, safe calls. He was protected. Again, we always have the ability to do those things. It's just when do we decide to do it. In the situation, we ran him twice, one in the red area, one in a 4th down, where it was a clean look and he was protected on the edge. He just had to take care of himself once he got around the corner. The quarterback sneak, that's something that we do with all of our quarterbacks. Just happened to do it in a situation where it wasn't expected. So again, we're always trying to protect our guy and make sure we keep him healthy like we are. Again, I felt confident that those were quarterback runs that were going to be run into safe looks for him. Absolutely, yeah.
Drake mentioned through your perspective on the lateral or the backwards pass, whatever it was.
Yeah.
You guys were backed up there and were
Yeah. Yeah, that was a difficult one. We had really 3 errors on the play, and they were all critical. If we not had one of those, we may have survived the down. We were a little fast to throw the lateral. Shouldn't be a lateral. We're expecting that to be a forward pass. We asked our guys to cut the end to that side. We didn't get his hands down, so that was number 2. And then our back, we lost a little ground on the wide route, which we shouldn't do from that home spot. So those 3 got us. That was a crucial play in the game. We'd love to just to survive that down and obviously not give them the touchdown. That was a tough one. Overall, I thought our guys played outstanding. Their play style was excellent. The physicality, Layden really showed up as a physical player again. I think 3 or 4 plays in that game is really what got us. But again, guys are making improvements, and we're starting to see what we can do when we can stay on the field, move the ball, convert on 3rd down, score in the red zone. So that's what it's supposed to look like for the most part. You take a handful of plays out of that game, and I think we're feeling a lot better about it.
Jalen Pope played a season low in snaps. What sort of happened this season, and why hasn't he had the production I think that many thought he would?
Yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I've said before with him, coming in as a rookie, you don't always, light it up in your first year. It takes some time to adjust to the pro game. Again, tons of confidence in Polk. Baker as well, excited to get those guys going. If we can get them going this year, great. If not, then an off season again to help them learn in the system and just, sometimes, things don't go your way. You just got to pull yourself out of it. And, that's what we'll continue to encourage with Polk. But not down on him at all.
Alex, just going back to lateral for a second. You were okay with making that play call, and that's assuming all those 3 things went right.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would not have called it had I thought that would have been an issue. Very safe play. It's just a kick it out to the back with the lead blocker. We do it all the time.
Kind of piggybacking off Mark's question regarding Polk and Baker, can you point to a guy like Keyshawn and say, look, Keyshawn didn't maybe have the production you wanted to get as a rookie, but he's been able to progress through the system to the point where he's one of your go-to guys.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about. I mean, these guys, I don't see them as one and done players at all. I mean, they're here to grow and develop in our system, and expect those guys to come out and help us a ton next year.
Drake mentioned wanting to be better against blitz zero. It seemed like he kind of faced that on the last drive. Was that something you guys anticipated? And also, how did your plan to attack it maybe progress? It seemed like they were maybe trying to get him to roll right a couple of times, and then it seemed like you went left after that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd look into it that much. It was zero pressure. I mean, it depends on how it's protected, or where the free runners will be, to which way the quarterback will move. Yeah, we totally anticipated it. We had calls in for it, and we got to those calls in that situation. Through the course of game plan, that we knew that they were a zero team down in the tight red in a 4-minute situation like that. So we had calls for it, and we got there eventually.
Alex, thinking back to the playbook you said maybe at the start of the summer or had, how much of that have you worked through already or put on film?
Of the complete book?
Some percentage.
Yeah, I would say probably 85, 90%. I would say we've run this year. There's some stuff that we haven't gotten to, concepts, schematic things versus different coverages that we haven't really scratched the surface yet, but that'll come in year 2.
Alex, you talked about play calling and putting players in position to succeed, understanding who they are, what they do well. In week 17, do you feel like you have a good grasp, considering all the turnover, the number of combinations you had, and variations in stat lines and so forth?
Yeah, no, I think so. I think we have a good feel of who we are and what we do well individually. And again, I'm always going to try to put them into a position where they can be successful. To ask a guy to do something that he can't physically do, or maybe doesn't have the good feeling about that type of route or concept, then we won't ask him to do it.
Alex was asking Gerard about game management decisions as the head coach and how, once you've been in that position, what's something you wouldn't know, and he said, try to stay ahead of the game.
Yeah.
And I know you work in concert with him once he makes those decisions.
Sure.
When you guys have been at your best, what stands out to you? And when you've seen areas where you've fallen short?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for us as an offense in whole is productivity on first and second down, and keeping the third downs into manageable down and distances. When we're operating best, we're running the ball. I think that was another thing in the Buffalo game. We were able to run the ball and continue to run the ball to slow down the pass rush, which is part of us. And we were staying positive on first and second downs. We had big runs on first down. We're 2nd and 2, things like that. So for us, what I've noticed is when we play best, we're successful on first and second down, keeping us in third and short. And then we did a great job on third down and converting and staying on the field.
How good was the energy in Buffalo, and how close are you guys to putting together a 60-minute game? I know the energy was good. You were like the mayor in Buffalo. Everybody wanted to shake your hand and say hi and everything else. How much was that part of kind of setting the trend for what you guys wanted to do?
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest thing for our rookies, our young players who have not played there, is to get that game under their belt. We definitely hyped it up all week as the environment's going to be intense. It's going to be the loudest game we'll play in all year. And I think they'll learn from that. There was some delay a game almost. We had to call a timeout. We took it. Those are things that we have to be better in our communication. May not have heard the full play call in the huddle, but we have to know that's going to be the case when we play in those great, environments like Buffalo. But, I was proud of the guys. They responded well. Our operation for the most part was okay. But it was a good experience for them, and I think they'll learn from that next time we go there.
Alex, understanding that staying on schedule is like generally a good idea on offense. I'm curious if that's just more that urgency is more of your general philosophy of playing offense versus this is the personnel we have. We might not have that explosive catch-up ability if we fall behind the chain. Which is the two?
You're going to have to say that one more time. You threw me off. So, yeah, we stay ahead of the sticks.
Kind of like we need to stay on schedule regardless of the personnel.
Doesn't matter about personnel. Yeah, it's about down distance.
This is how we're built. This is how we have to play.
I think it's a combination of the two. I do. I think that is how we are built right now. We had 20-play drive. I think we had an 18-play drive in there as well. So, just taking bits and pieces, but we still are trying to find those explosives that we can end the drive a lot shorter like we did in the first drive on the 7th play.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.